Ay, ay, ay. It's just going to have to be off kilter. I can't get it to stay one way or the other. Oh, that's construction zone, I'll tell you that. Hey, silly, welcome back. So, here's a problem. I've got my personal dispatcher working on trying to get me a load from Salt Lake City to Missouri. Problem is, everybody that has loads going that way right now aren't answering their phones. So, you companies over there in Missouri, you brokers, or any broker that has loads going to Missouri, what's your problem? Why aren't you answering your phones? If you've got loads that's got to go, answer your phones. Just saying. Eric and Doris, Violet the lazy Texan, Judy, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. So we're gonna be we're getting unloaded right now, and we're gonna be stopping two more places. Once I'm fully unloaded, then we're looking for a load that goes from Salt Lake City to Missouri. Because this weekend on the 24th, there is an event in Jefferson City, Missouri. It's a kind of a freedom picnic. They hold it every year, but there's going to be a lot of guest speakers there this year. There's going to be a lot of familiar faces there this year. So if you live in the area, come on out. If you live anywhere between Salt Lake City and Missouri, let me know where you're at. If you want a convoy with me to get means, join my convoy. Thank you for posting up the information on that, silly. Another thing that you all need to know: there is a worldwide movement. Uh, it's a worldwide freedom movement slow roll for the 23rd. That's Saturday. On Saturday at 11 o'clock in your own time zone, whatever time zone you're in, when it hits 11 o'clock, everybody's supposed to slow roll, and that's worldwide. That's not just here in the States. That's everywhere. Every country out there is taking part in it, at least most of them. So don't get frustrated if you get stuck in traffic around 11 a.m. wherever you're at. But also be part of it. Get out there and be part of it. That's one thing you can do. If you can't get out of your town or get too far, at least get out there and be part of the slow roll. Doesn't matter where you are. If the speed limit's marked at 50 miles an hour, do 25. If it's marked at 60, do 30. From 11 to 12. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I think anything's better than DC. See, the thing is, this movement, this whole freedom movement, there are so many different aspects of it all over the world, not just here. And in order for us to be successful with it here in the States, we can't just stick to one movement. And we can't just sit in DC, because DC is not listening. They will not listen. Because we're not the people that are paying them the biggest bucks. So the grassroots is where it's at, which means in your own cities, in your own towns, in your own counties, and in your own states. And if you live near another state that happens to have an event going on, by all means, join them. We need nationwide solidarity. That's like this. I actually have the ability to get out there to this event in Missouri. I don't have enough time to get to the one that's up in Michigan this weekend, because there is one up in Michigan, but and it's right there at the border crossing into Canada. But I do have the time and ability to get to the one in Missouri. So those plans have already been put in place. I will be there. Just like if they had an event here today after I get unloaded and I was able to make it here in the Salt Lake City area, I would go there. I'd be there with my train horns and all. And these flags right here hanging out. So, like I said, you don't have to take part. You can donate, you can support any one of the movements. But by all means, take part in anything that is going on locally close to you. Because this freedom movement isn't just one group's ideas or agendas or demands. There are so many different groups, and every one of them is kind of demanding the same thing, but also demanding other things. I'm a firm believer that you need to support all of them. Whether you don't agree with them or not, they're all wanting the same thing as you are in the end. Doesn't matter if their ideas or their values or their political ideologies are different than yours. The fact is they're standing out there screaming and demanding the same thing as you. And they're standing on the same front line as you are. Just don't exclude them. And don't bash them down. Don't ridicule them because they're doing things a way that you don't think it should be done or that you don't agree with. Just understand they're fighting for the same thing as you are. It's that simple. We're all American citizens, and we're all fighting for the same thing regardless of how people believe in different ways about how to get to those things. It's all right. Exactly. If you're sitting on the edge of a time zone change, like if you're in Idaho, go ahead and slow roll through Idaho headed towards Oregon, right? Or Washington. Slow roll that way at 11 o'clock. And by the time you get into Oregon, the time changes and it's still just now 11 o'clock. So keep rolling. 2 hours you get to roll, right? Yeah, this movement is this movement's going to take everybody. It's going to take everybody. We need to get people from all walks of life, all sides, all whatever. We need to get everybody to be involved. And the way to do that is by spreading the word, spreading the message. Sit down with your neighbor. You may not get along with them politically. They may be a liberal and you may be a conservative, or they may be a conservative and you may be a liberal. The thing is, there really aren't any parties. There's only one agenda. They have everybody so programmed that they are one party or the other, and they have them so like I said, so programmed into the whole thing that they don't want to see anything outside of what their party tells them. Okay, what is reality, what isn't. You've got left side screaming that they've got these great bills that, you know, they're perfect, that they're going to be great for the people of the country and the economy, but they can't get them passed because the right side refuses to work with them. And the same thing happens with the stuff on the right side that's supposedly great for the people of the country. The left side refuses to work with them, right? But all the bad stuff, all the stuff that's destroying our economy, all the stuff that is not good for this country in any way, shape, or form, or the people of this country, seems to magically pass through every time. They're not on your side. They're not on the side of any American citizen. They're on the side of their own pocketbook. And they're forwarding one agenda. Magically forwarding one agenda on both sides. There are no parties. There's just corruption. So there is no liberal. There is no conservative. There is just the Constitution. If it doesn't fall under the Constitution, they should not be doing it. Period. How do we fix that? Well, we can start with my hashtag no more third terms. Don't vote for any politician, no matter what. Don't vote for any politician that has had 2 or more terms in that one particular seat. They can run for a different seat, but they can't run for the same seat if they've already had 2 terms. Right now, legally, yeah, they can. And they'll never put term limits on themselves. They'll never pass a law that gives themselves term limits. So it's up to us to use our vote as term limits. Stop voting for them. We need a complete change. We need to put an end to career politics. It should never be a career. It never was meant to be a career. You have people that have been sitting in office for 50 and 60 years that have never done a thing in their life besides be a politician. That's why they are so out of touch with the real people of this country. Hey, Silly, thank you for posting that. Italian Princess, the way Silly posted it is exactly how it should look. Doesn't need the pause afterwards, but, you know. If you're on here watching right now and you haven't watched my No More Third Terms video, I would suggest you do. And I would suggest you share it out as far and wide as you can. Share it everywhere. If you shared it yesterday, share it again today. Just keep putting it out there. Everywhere. Especially on Facebook. Let's break their algorithm. Let's make it trend. Hang on a minute.
All that other stuff you're taking all side?
Not all of it. There's another job site that I've got to go to first.
What job site is it?
You've got the paperwork. I don't know
I
where.
mean,
I don't know.
No, what I mean is the other stuff that's not ours. That's going to all side?
Not some of it's going to all side, but there's another job site.
21, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the what stuff that's not 21, you're taking to all side?
Right.
Yeah. So what I do, I just talk to him and have you take all of it to all side. All side will deliver to 21.
All of it going to all side?
Yeah. So, the only question I have is, it's still packed in there pretty tight in the front, but are you going to make it just all side from here without any trouble?
We're gonna need to use some of the black strap.
Do you have it? Or?
The black straps that were back there.
Yeah, okay.
We just need to we need to tighten it back up so that nothing falls.
Yeah, that's my concern.
Because it doesn't matter how good I drive. There's always an idiot out there that likes to cut a semi truck off and brake check them.
So yeah, we'll want to strap that.
Yep.
So other than that, let's have you. I called the all side guy and he said, yeah, just bring it here, we'll deliver.
Okay.
So, plus that other job, monumental pain in the ass to get this truck in there.
Yeah. It's going. My only way out is that way, unless you
No,
want to
we
block the
had
street behind me to back out.
Yesterday we had the same thing. He just angled over to this side best he could, and then he angled back and headed north. So
Right.
I'll have one of my guys stand out in the traffic.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's the only thing I worry about is backing out into a street.
Okay.
All right. When you guys are done with the paperwork, let me know. When you're done with the paperwork, let me know. Oh, interesting, right? So, I guess I don't have to go to a second job site. They've rearranged everything so that it all gets delivered to the last delivery, and the last delivery will deliver it to that other job site on smaller trucks. Because apparently I'm not going to fit in there. Because they realized how big I am today. Because, you know, a regular semi truck, they're about 63 to 65 foot long, maybe a little bit longer. I'm sitting at 73 feet because my frame on my tractor is stretched out an extra 8 feet. So that extra length makes it pretty hard to get in and out of some places, but it doesn't stop me from doing it. I can put this thing in places that most other truckers can't put a 40-foot trailer with a day cab into. Yeah, I'll get it in. I'll get it in there. I'll be all. The trailer will be sitting like this, and my tractor will be sitting like this, but I'll be in there. Yeah. Well, the thing is, this guy here that I'm talking to, he's the leader of this crew here that's doing this job site, and his brother is the leader of the crew at the other job site. So they both know each other, and they both know each other's job sites. I think they're both under. I think they're both running their own companies, but because they're brothers, they're kind of like the same company. I'm not sure, and it's really none of my business to ask. So all I worry about is getting their product to them in one piece and getting paid. Especially since it's glass doors and windows. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt hauling glass, I'll tell you that. Now, the 24th in Jefferson City, Missouri, we are going to be having a picnic, a freedom picnic, and there will be live speakers, lots of them, and there's going to be a lot of faces that you all will recognize that will be there. I will be there. I know TQ Trucking will be there. I know Butch will be there. I know Jen Simpson will be there. I know Silly for Him will be there. I know Rosie Rowe Patriot will be there. I know the entire Nagy family will be there. I've heard rumors that the G's will be there. I do not know for sure, so don't quote me on that. I know I've also heard that Mr. Trench will be there, but again, don't quote me on that. Because I haven't talked to him myself personally. There's a possibility I might end up being a speaker there too. So, oh yeah, Mobo, Mr. and Mrs. Mobo will be there. Silly, you know more of the people that are going to be there than I do. I mean, I know them, but I don't know who all is going, and you have more information than I do on it. So please share. if you have a moment, silly, see if there is anything going on in the Boston area. Now, Matt's mom, there is one thing. It's not necessarily a convoy, but on the 23rd, on Saturday, there is a nationwide and a worldwide slow roll at 11 a.m. So wherever you are, if you are out in traffic, expect traffic to be quite messed up, because the nationwide slow roll starts at 11 a.m. in whatever time zone you're in to 12. And what you're supposed to do is, if the speed limit is 60 miles an hour, you're supposed to do 30. If it's 50, do 25. That's one thing that is going on. It's a worldwide slow roll. And it's 11 a.m., starting at 11 a.m. in every single time zone. So, like, if you live right next to where a time zone is, I know in Boston there isn't going to be that, but if you lived next to a time zone, you could start at 11 o'clock in one time zone and drive towards the other time zone. And when you get into that other time zone, wow, it's 11 o'clock. So now you get 2 hours of slow rolling instead of one. Nah. Don't you hate it when that happens, Violet? But most likely, Matt's mom, most likely there's going to be some kind of protest or some kind of freedom type event stationed around your capital or your city hall, everywhere in the country. And every weekend, if you have a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 job, every weekend you should be outside of your city hall or your county offices or your state capital protesting. Because this is a grassroots that needs to take place in every state, in every city, in every town, in every county. It can't just sit in D.C. because the people of D.C. are not listening. The people that live there are not listening. The people that you see walking past the 1776 all day, every day, most of them don't live there. Most of them are tourists. The politicians, they're not listening. They're not going to come out of their cushy office in the Capitol building and talk to the 1776. It's not going to happen. That doesn't mean that what the 1776 is doing is not right. It doesn't mean that they're wrong in every way of what they're doing, and it doesn't mean that they're going to fail. They are holding a place there for everybody to come and join and, show the politicians that we're not going anywhere and we're not backing down. But we also need to do this in every single town, city, county, and state across the country. This movement can be in your own backyard. It does not have to be just in DC. Well, Sherry, I can't argue with you. I have my own opinions, and personally, I'm not willing to share them simply because of the fact that every single movement, regardless of whether you fully back them or support them, or whether you fully like how they're doing things, every single one of the freedom type movements across this country, you should at least show them some kind of support one way or another. I'm not necessarily saying donate to them. I am saying, though, don't bash them. Because who are you to bash on one movement because you don't like all their ideas, or you don't like how they're running things or what they're doing in particular, but they are a peaceful movement, okay? Who are you to bash them and support a different one or go a different direction when in the long run, that one that you bashed might have been the one that actually succeeded? You don't know. You can't read the future. I can't read the future. I am not willing to put a stake in the heart of a movement that could possibly be the winner. I can't predict whether they're going to be successful or not. But what I can do is support them and every other movement that I come across. I have the advantage of being a truck driver and able to reach anywhere in the country, so if I happen to be driving through an area that has a movement and an event going on that is a freedom and it's peaceful type of protest type of movement, I won't be there. Just like this one in Missouri that I'm going to go to. I'm going to be there. Well, Sherry, they are a movement. Every single different freedom fighting set, like the People's Convoy that happens to still be in Pennsylvania, I guess. Then there's the 1776. Then there's the People's Movement, and there's I don't know. There's a couple hundred different movements all across the country, all fighting for the same thing in the long run. In the long run, they are all fighting for the same thing. How they're doing it and what they're saying, the way they're going about things, is completely different. Most of them won't talk to each other whatsoever because they disagree with the other. We need people to just drop all that, drop your egos, drop your preconceptions. You don't have to like the person standing next to you on that front line, but you have to trust that they want the same thing in the end as you. Plain and simple. But Jesse's a very, very smart, bright young man. He's a very good young man. I like him. I've helped him out a lot. Him and I have had some good long conversations. That young man has a great head on his shoulders, and his father should be proud because that apple fell straight down. That apple literally fell straight down the trunk of the tree, and it didn't go anywhere from there. Yeah, see, X-Ray is following the advice of his attorneys. And here's the thing. When a branch of law enforcement or the government reaches out and confiscates your livelihood, your vehicle, your home, or anything of yours because they disagree with your voice, they disagree with your movement, they disagree with what you're telling people, they take your vehicle while you're not quite there and play those games that they played, how can you be sure they're not going to take you against your rights and disappear you? I'll be right back.
What do you need there? Is that all for me, or is that for you?
All right. No, most of this pile of paperwork, some of it was yours and some of it belongs to the other stops.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the paperwork that has the windows and doors that you pulled off listed on it is the paperwork that is yours. And then there is another paper here that I need back from you that's you sign. You got to print, sign, and date on it. If I can find it. Which one is this? This is 2150? Is that you?
Yeah, that's the job I'm sending down.
That's the other job. Okay, so you are going to be... Nope, that's the all side.
Richmond.
Richmond, there you go. This is the one I need just in the big middle there somewhere. Print, sign, and date. And then I'm not, other than that, I'm not used to any of the other paperwork that's in here. Because usually the companies know exactly what's theirs. So,
What is it, 20th?
yes, today is the 20th, I believe.
Okay, there's that.
All right. So, let's see. Sugar House Townhome.
Yeah, that's the 21 one. They have two names on it. Sugar
Okay.
House Townhome.
This one is,
PR Horton. That's not us.
okay, so that's going to be the all side stuff. I have no idea.
Ox Glass is us.
This is Ox Glass?
Yeah, but that's
Those are yours. Okay, 2150.
that's
Yep.
the Sugar House one. Take that to all side with you. That's same with that one. Anything that says Adam already, take it with you. Which is probably all the rest of them. Nope, that's ASC, so that's something else.
Then that's one that goes straight to all side.
Yeah, all the rest of those go to all side.
See, they pretty much hosed the paperwork twice.
Yeah, that's just.
I went to pick up the load, and they come out. They didn't have paperwork in the trailer like they're supposed to. So they come out and they bring me one set of paperwork, and I'm pulling out of there, and they call me and get me to stop. Saying, "Oh, well, we gave you the wrong paperwork." No, it was the right paperwork. It was just
whoever loaded this truck for you, they mixed our windows in with DR Hortons, and if I get our windows out, you're gonna have an unstable load.
right.
So that's why I'm sending all side, let them deal with it. I already called them; they're gonna do it.
That's perfectly fine. Richmond.
Richmond is this one.
Something going to New York?
I
Sorry,
know.
that's not me.
A long drive for a window.
I'm not going to New York. I never go to New York. Those are yours.
All right, there's your pin.
All right. Thank you.
Jeff, just need to close that back, and then we'll have a guy help you out.
All right. Put this paperwork back together here real quick. Program my GPS here. Where to address, and we're going to 2875. $10.30. All right.
Turn right at the stop sign.
I'm going to let you guys go. Enjoy. I got stuff to do. Have a good day.